All right, good evening. And welcome to the August 4th Claims Committee meeting. This time I'd like to call the meeting to order, and I ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Councilwoman Horoyan, Councilman Andujar,
Present.
Councilman Ritz, Councilman Trafficante,
Present.
Council Vice President Wall.
Here. All right, the first item of business is public comment. If anyone is here this evening in chambers who would like to make public comment on agenda matters only, please step up to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you will have 4 minutes. There being none, is there anyone online who would like to make public comment, Tom?
There is no public comment online.
Okay, so at this time, I'm going to close public comment. And this time, I'm going to entertain a motion to go into the executive session pursuant to Rhode Island General Laws 42465A2 pertaining to prospective or actual litigation matters as listed on the agenda in the sections that follow.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Councilman Ritz, Councilman Trafficante, Council Vice President Wall.
Yes. Okay, we are in executive session. All right, at this time, I'm going to entertain a motion to return to the open session.
So moved.
Any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Councilman Ritz.
Yes.
Council Trafficante,
Present.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Council President Marino. Yes.
Thank you. All right, the next, just for a point of reference, there were motions made during the executive session. At this time, I'm going to entertain a motion to seal the executive session minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Councilman Ritz. Yes. Council Trafficante.
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Council President Marino. Yes.
We're going to move on to approval of minutes. At this time, I'm going to entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes from the July 7th regular meeting.
So
So-
moved.
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Councilman Ritz. Councilman Trafficante.
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Next, I'm going to entertain a motion for the approval of the sealed minutes from the July 7th executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Councilman Ritz.
Yes.
Council Trafficante.
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Council President Marino. Yes.
All right, there being no further business before this committee, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, signify by saying nay. The ayes have it. That motion carries. This meeting is over. The next meeting will start in approximately 3 minutes. All right, good evening and welcome to the August 4th, 2025 Safety Service Committee meeting. This time, I'd like to call this meeting to order and ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Councilwoman Graziano, Councilman Andujar,
Present.
Councilman Ritz,
Present.
Councilman Trafficante,
Present.
Council Vice President Wall,
Here.
Councilwoman Horoyan, Council President Reno. Present.
Okay. Our first item of business would be the approval of minutes. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes from the July 7th, 2025 regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Councilman Ritz, Council Trafficante.
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Council President Reno. Yes.
Next item of business would be public comment. If there is anyone in the chambers who would like to make public comment on agenda matters only things that are on the agenda, please step up to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you'd have 4 minutes to speak. I'm seeing none at this time. Tom, is there anyone online who would like to make public comment on agenda matters only?
There's no public comment online.
Okay, so at this time, I'm going to close public comment, and we're going to move on to public hearings. The first hearing would be additional hours for Vitrilling New. Cranston Coffee, Inc., Duncan located at 630 Reservoir Avenue. At this time, I'm seeing outstanding items, Rhode Island Department of Health. Is anyone here from that establishment? Rhode Island Department of Health license. John? No one's here, which would be recommended to
Should
continue?
we just inquire of the clerk if they've filed anything? Rose from Department
Rose?
of Health, have they provided anything?
No, they haven't.
Well, customarily, the committee usually continues it, but that's up to you. You have every right to deny it. No one showed up, but I know historically the committee likes to continue these.
At this time, I'm going to entertain a motion to continue. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
The motion is made and seconded. Any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Councilman Ritz.
Yes.
Council Trafficante.
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Council President Reno. Yes.
Okay. Next item of business is auto repair licenses new. The PZW or Truck Service LLC located at Station Street. They're looking to, it looks like they're missing a fire inspection, something like that. Is someone online? Yes. Okay. Sir, you represent the PZW or Truck Service LLC?
Yes,
Okay, I'm noticing here that you're still in need of a fire inspection.
yes, I know.
Oh, ma'am, could you please state your name and your address for the record?
Yes, my name is Sadie Zeneida Pena Torres. My address, like my home address or the business address?
Home.
We need your address.
Okay, okay. My home address is 42 Farrago Avenue, Providence, Rhode Island, 02905.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So I see that you still don't have a fire inspection. Would that be correct? Is it coming at some point?
They did the fire inspection. We have to do something, but I don't know where they go again.
So they did the fire inspection, they found certain things that had to be improved, and they're gonna come back after you've improved them. Is that correct?
Yes,
John, we generally would continue this.
That's.
Ma'am, we're gonna continue this to next month. Do you think you'd have a chance to get everything done by next month?
oh, yes.
Thank you. I'm looking for a motion to continue to next month.
So moved.
Second.
Second, any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Councilman Ritz? Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Lee? Yes.
Thank you. Moving right on to expansion of hours. The first one is 401 Wings, Inc. Their current hours are Monday to Sunday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. They're requesting a change to go from Monday to Sunday, 11 to 11. Is anyone here from 401 Wings, Inc.?
Ken Gucci.
Mingle.
All right. So you'd like to expand, I mean, I know you're in the neighborhood. Unfortunately, I haven't come by. How long have you been there?
June 4th.
And June 4th, and now you think you're ready to go for an additional, what, 2 hours a night?
Well, the initial process, when I first filed the application, I assumed, because it's a new restaurant is new to me, so I actually filled out the application for the hours we intended to be open. And then once I came to these meetings prior, I learned that the application should be set forth based on the hours you're expecting, within the calendar year or so. So we intended on doing a soft opening and then expanding the hours as football season would accommodate, like chicken wings and pizza. So it is more of a sit down takeout. And we have found, at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, people are walking in, they're like, and we're just not able to accommodate those people.
Feel that trend is definitely going to continue probably
Yeah,
into,
for
okay.
sure.
Personally, that's my ward, and I don't see an issue with it. So I'd be looking for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there any other discussion from the committee? All right, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Council Trafficante? Council President Wall?
Yes,
Council President Lee? Yes.
good luck with your expanded hours.
Thanks, appreciate it. Have a great day.
All right, the next item of business would be Taurus Garden City Donuts. Is anyone here from, is it Taurus? Yes. All right, your current hours are Monday to Sunday, 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Yeah, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get it in 1 minute. I promise you. Let me just finish it. All right. You're looking to expand from Monday to Sunday, 4 a.m. to 11 p.m. All right, sir, could you state your name and address for the record, please?
Yes, George Zwiener, 189 Sockenhouse Crossroad. Zwiener.
Okay, and the nature of your business is donuts?
It's
Just basically donuts?
a Dunkin' Donuts franchise.
Dunkin' Donuts, all right. Okay, I know where it is. I go in now and then, yeah. All right, I don't see a problem with it. I know the area pretty well. I'd be looking for a motion to.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
Councilman Wall?
Yes, Councilman Banano.
We live near each other, so this is also my area. I go in there quite frequently, and it's just a regular old Dunkin' Donuts. Not a lot of riffraff going on there. And to be honest with you, at this particular location, there's probably not a residence, I would say within 500, 600 feet. So to go from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., I don't know that it would affect anybody's home. So I would hope we would consider it.
Any other discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Council Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Lee? Yes.
Okay, sir, you probably want to stay because it looks like you're the next one. The next is Taurus Park Avenue, Inc., ABA Dunkin' Victualling. Current hours are Monday to Sunday, 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. You're requesting Monday to Sunday, 4 a.m. to 11 p.m. This would be located on 1111 Park Avenue. I personally don't see a problem with it. let me take a motion first, and then I'll open it for discussion. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, is there discussion? Councilman Andujar.
How you doing, sir? So, as you know, you have a little speaker back there, and at 5:30 in the morning, people are asking what they want. I've heard you worked on it, and I've talked to the neighbors, and they said that it has lowered. The only thing that some of the neighbors are complaining about are the lights, the light beams from the headlights. So I don't know if maybe something in the future, you know, maybe one of those grass walls or something, just something to, because at 5:30 in the morning, you know, when it's dark out, or even 7 o'clock in the morning when it's dark out, when those lights hit you, they wake you up. But it's a very clean place. It's small, but you know, all the kids go there, you know, after school and stuff. And when there's football games, you're packed. So I hope you keep up the business and just
Well,
keep
thank you.
keep an eye out on that
I do
microphone.
agree. I am currently remodeling the store, and I'm looking at possibly putting a fence up. I have to talk to the building inspector, which would block any of the lights from going into the neighborhood, especially the house directly behind me, because I'm concerned there's a few tenants there that I understand the lights early in the morning or late at night are not so good.
But you're doing a good job over there. It's just the microphone, that's the speaker, or whatever it is. But thanks for staying in Cranston, and thanks for letting us know you're gonna remodel.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Anyone else with comments this evening? All right, there being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes,
Council President Reno?
Yes.
thank you, sir. Good luck with your extended
Thank you.
hours.
Thank you very much.
I do have another one. I promise you, I'm looking. All right, the next one would be Swerge Inc. DBA Dunking Victualling. Current hours are, they are located on 548 Reservoir Avenue. Their current hours are 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. They're requesting to change their hours to 4 a.m. to 11 p.m. Oh, you're the same one, but just, all right. So I guess you can stay, you don't have to reintroduce yourself. That's on Reservoir. I'll first look for a motion to approve, and then we'll have discussion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Our motion was made and seconded. Is there any discussion from members of the committee? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes,
Council President Reno?
Yes.
now I believe we're all set. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. Moving right on, the next is a show cause for K Chicken LLC DBA New Ishbon Corporation located at 146 Gansett Avenue. The violation of the requirements for liquor liability insurance as required by Rhode Island General Laws 3-7-29. Is anyone here from that establishment? John, no one's here. Recommendation?
Well, this is a pretty serious matter. State law requires that liability insurance be maintained. I guess before we proceed any further, we should ask Clerk Rose, have they provided any evidence of liability insurance? Nothing. Well, the state law is pretty clear. It's pretty strict, actually. What it says is that failure to maintain it results in immediate revocation unless, there's an unless in there. They have 48 hours. Once they receive notice of the revocation, if they provide that evidence within 48 hours of receiving the notice, then they're fine. But obviously, this is up to the committee, but I think based on how I'm reading the state law that you know, in the interest of protecting the city from liability claims, I think the committee doesn't have much choice at this point other than to take a vote to revoke. We will send out the notice certified mail, maybe even have it handled by the police department, and then the clock begins to run. If they reinstate within 48 hours, they'll be okay. If not, they're revoked. And at that point, they become a new applicant. They can't serve liquor, but they would become a new applicant. So,
Councilman,
This is right across the street from the school. It's sort of like a mom and pop shop. It's where people basically go Friday, Saturday nights, people from the neighborhood. I'm in agreement with the solicitor, but I just feel that if we shut them down, and they have to start the process over, I don't think the family could survive. So, I mean, I would personally go there after this and find out what's going on, but I am in agreement with the solicitor where we do have to give them the 48-hour notice, but I really want to be on the lenient side of helping these people because it is a blue collar restaurant, mom and pop shop. So it's not like a big restaurant or a fancy bar or a nightclub that, you know, they could afford to, you know, close for 4 or 5 months. So I just wish that we get some leniency on these people and let's do the 48-hour notice by the police department if we can.
And if I'm hearing the solicitor correctly, I would agree with Councilman Andujar. If I'm hearing you correctly, it's written into the state law. Once we make a motion and take a vote to revoke, they have 48 hours to show proof of their
No,
requirements.
It's not from the time of the vote, from the time they receive notice. That's when the clock begins to run, not tonight.
So when they
it'll-
receive, not from tonight, when they actually have the
Correct.
notice in their hands.
Correct. That's why I would want to do it either through the police department or through certified mail, or probably both.
So I'd be looking for a motion to revoke.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion on this matter? There being none, I'll ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Councilman Andujar,
No.
Councilman Ritz,
Yes.
Council Trafficante,
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Moving right along, committee business carried over. Auto repair licenses. This had been continued from July 7th. We're going to start with American auto repair license for American Muffler and Brake Shop located at 1380 Park Avenue. Looks like they have everything in. Is anyone here from that establishment? I don't think we need to. If they have everything in, Rose, we can pretty much just approve it. Would that be correct, John?
Is this, so I understand, is this a renewal or is this a new license? At the beginning,
Oh, it says auto
when
repair
they
license.
first
Yeah.
applied, was it applied as a new license? The renewals? If it's a renewal, it's, unless there's cause not to renew, it should be renewed. So if everything is in, I would say renew it.
I'm looking for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Councilman Ritz.
Yes.
Council Trafficante.
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes,
Council President Marino.
Yes.
thank you. Next item is BMC Petroleum located at 905 Cranston Street. There are some outstanding items. It looks like there is a clearance on city taxes. Is anyone here from BMC Petroleum? Councilman Andujar. Would you have that information? If we've received if they've got their clearance from their city
We have
tax?
not, we have not received.
We
it.
have not. Councilman Andujar.
I would like to continue this. There is a situation, especially on Roland, where they're parking their cars on the street. It's a narrow street to get in and out of. They have enough parking. There are a lot of cars there without license plates. So I want to know if, you know, what are they working on? Are they working on, you know, cars that they buy at the auction? I just want to see their business plan. I live right by there and there's constant traffic. So I would love to continue this, to have someone come in.
Well, it's a good question. I was gonna suggest that, but
I'm not quite sure. That seems to be more in line with enforcement than, you know, whether it's a ground of non-renewal. The city tax requirement seems to be the holdup on the renewal. So unless those taxes are paid up to date, it's up again. The committee historically has shown a great deal of leniency in these kinds of situations by continuing these matters. I would note that the code does allow the licenses to be renewed subject to a payment agreement. I tend to doubt that that's even been done, but someone who owes city taxes can also enter into a payment agreement. They don't have to be paid all at once up front, and they can still be renewed. But when we don't hear from people and we don't know what the status is, it makes it difficult. So the committee, again, it's in the discretion of the committee. As far as Councilman Andujar's concerns, I think those are definitely code enforcement and code enforcement issues.
All right, I'd be looking for a motion to continue.
Motion to continue.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Council
Yes.
Trafficante? Council Vice President Wall?
Yes,
Council President Reno? Yes.
thank you. Next item is Easy Glass located at 987 Cranston Street. I don't see anything outstanding. Is anyone here from Easy Glass? There's nothing outstanding. I'd be looking for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any just? Pardon me, sir. Speak up. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. Are you from Easy Glass, sir? Are you from Easy Glass? Sir, if you'd like to give testimony, you'd have to step up to the microphone, but we've actually passed public comment. So let me just, sir, you don't represent Easy Glass? Are you here on behalf of the man who represents Easy Glass? Okay, thank you. We're all, then, thank you, Mr. We're all set for now. Thank you. And thank you so much. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. All right, Easy Glass, we had a motion to, let's see, we don't need
I will
anyone.
second.
We have a motion to approve? In the second? And any further discussion? All right. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Council
Yes.
Trafficante? Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Reno? Yes.
Next item of business would be Glass America, located at 140 Comstock Parkway. At this time, it would appear that they have have an outstanding fire inspection. Is anyone here from Glass America? All right, there's no one here from Glass America. We haven't received their fire inspection. John's not here. Attorney Angel, would this be a position where we would generally continue?
You would.
We would? All right, I'm looking for a motion to continue.
Motion to continue.
Second.
All right, motion made and second. Is there any further discussion? All right, there being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Council Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Reno? Yes.
Okay, next item is Sam's Auto Group located at 936 Cranston Street. It says here, I spoke to the clerk before this, that we have received their fire inspection. It's listed on your agenda. So I'd be looking for a motion to
Motion to
approve.
approve.
Second.
I'm sorry, did you have something?
No.
We're on 5, Sam's Auto Group.
Okay.
And we have it. All right, so there's been a motion made and second. Any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Council Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Reno? Yes.
All right, moving along. Vitrin license is new. These are new licenses, and this was continued from July 7th. It is Route LLC, Diamar. Is anyone here from Route LLC, Diamar? There's no one here. It appears that we have a Department of Health license that's outstanding still. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I assume continue would be a good,
Your discretion.
it was continued once before. I'm gonna look for a motion to continue.
Motion to continue.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, would you please call roll?
Councilman Andujar,
Yes.
Councilman Ritz.
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante,
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Council President Reno. Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, new matters before the committee. All right, this would be a Class F1 liquor license. All right, this is for Ocean State Concessions, DBA at Memphis Kel, located at Mulligan's Island. The event dates would be, looks like 8/8, 8/15, 8/16, 8/22, 8/29, 8/9/2, 9/5, 9/19, 9/21, 10/24, and those hours would be between 10 o'clock and 5 p.m. You're here from Mulligan's Island, sir?
Ocean State.
Ocean State. Could you state your name and your address for the record?
Yeah, Joseph Boisvert, 303 Main Ave, Warwick, Rhode Island. Yeah, Boisvert. B as in boy, Oisvert.
So are these the Friday evenings? All right, when we had the
Yeah.
trucks?
It said until 5 p.m.
It says here, it says 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yeah, they go from 4:30 to 8:30. 4:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And there's also a couple of dates that I had mentioned on the application that aren't on there. They're just two. It's August 12th, which is the National Night Out for the police. And then the Cranston Fall Festival, September 21st.
John, looking at this, we have a couple of things that are not quite listed on the agenda the way this gentleman would like them to appear. Would these be Scribner's errors, or
Well,
will we have to?
is it just the dates? What
Well,
is the
he's
difference here?
got two additional dates. What were the two dates, sir?
The two dates that were in addition also have to do with the city, the police National Night Out. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that was taken care of separately, the National Night Out for the
What is the date again?
August 12th.
August
And
12th.
then, yeah, and then September 21st, which is the Cranston Fall Fest.
Yeah, 9/21's there.
9/21's on.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. I mean, he's allowed 12, so he's got 10 listed. What was the other date? August what?
August 12th. Hours. The other thing is the hours. And right away, I mean, when you have them on Friday nights, I know you don't start at 10 a.m.
No, but I think also that I was reading on the licenses, I think they go for a weird number of hours. They go for like 14 hours, don't they? For like, if it were 10 a.m., what time would that go into? Would it still cover me?
How did the hours read on the application? That's my question. When you filled out your application, what did you
I
write down?
just put the dates. I mean, I was talking to, my goodness, I forgot her name. But I'd given all the dates. I mean, maybe I was just under the assumption that, you know what I mean? The hours were.
The application will control, but I don't know what your application says. I haven't seen it.
We're gonna, I think the clerk, give us one moment. We're gonna see if the clerk has that application. I mean, it almost looks like it would make more sense if it was 5 p.m. to 10 p.m.
I think
But I can't read the application yet.
but I think the license clarifies what the hours are. Because I think it's a certain amount of time that you have. It was, I remember seeing it was weird hours. It was like, who would want it for? The hours did start early in the morning and went until later at night. So I think that the Class F declares the amount of hours that it can be, you know?
And John, is that actually the case? If
Is what the
that
case.
license, if the Class F license does have hours attached to it, is that the way it's written?
I have to see I
Okay,
don't
all
know
right.
what the clerk's
I
application
just remember it
requires.
being like weird. It was like a 14-hour license.
Right.
And
I
was
mean,
like, I don't.
Generally, with any application involving liquor, there should be hours.
This is the first time I've had to do it online too, so I don't know if.
So just reviewing the application does contain 10 dates. It doesn't contain the 8/12 date, and it also has, for the event time specified as 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now, having said that, the committee certainly has it within its discretion after consulting with Attorney Angel. I mean, there's been fair notice here. These are relatively minor alterations. If the committee so chooses to allow the gentleman to amend his application to add the 8/12 date and to correct that event time, I think that the committee is well within its powers to do that.
So what hours? Thank you. Sir.
So it goes, they go, there are a couple Saturdays on there that have hours that are like 10 to 4. But all of the Fridays are 4:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. As it goes later in the season, it only goes until 8 p.m. It doesn't.
All right, why don't we do that? Why don't we do it this way to simplify this? Let's talk about the month of August. We've got August 8th, 15th, 16th, 22nd, and 29th, and you want to add the 12th, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, what would the hours for August be, or is that depend on what day of the week it is?
So if it's on a Friday, because we only have Friday and Saturday dates, I think there's only one Saturday date in there, which would be,
And Saturdays, there's another, it's only Fridays and Saturdays?
it's
that-
only Fridays and Saturdays.
Okay, so what would the hours be for Fridays? Let's start with
4:30
Fridays.
to 8:30, 4:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m.
Okay, 4:30 p.m.
It's 8:30.
to 8:30 p.m. What about Saturdays?
Saturdays are 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
And we wouldn't be, I mean, I
All
know
right.
that we could, but we
What-
probably wouldn't be.
What I'm going to do. That's fine. What I'm doing is, and Attorney Angel made an excellent suggestion. So I'm handwriting, I'm going to ask you to initial this after, but I asked the committee first off to take a vote on whether to allow him to add the date of August 12th. Let's start with that.
All right, I'm looking for a motion to approve adding the date of August 12th.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Marino? Yes.
Right now, another motion to allow the event time on Fridays only to be amended to 4:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m.
A motion to amend the hours on Fridays only from 4:30 p.m. to 8 p.m.
8:30 p.m.
8:30.
Sorry, I strike that, 8:30 p.m.
So moved.
Second.
Second, any discussion? Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar? Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Council Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Marino? Yes.
And finally, a motion to allow the application to be amended to reflect that on Saturdays only, event time will be 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
All right, I'm going to need a motion to approve the change of the amend of the hours and the event times on Saturdays to be from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Council Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Marino? Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, just a question.
Yes,
If I
go ahead.
can. As I looked at the application, and it would seem that the application is done online, okay? There may not be adequate space in the time block for him to, or for anyone to put in specific times for specific dates. And that might be a glitch in the, I don't know, I'm not an IT person, but that may be.
Like I said, it was my
something.
first time too, so I could have messed it up. I mean,
So, is there a chance, Rose knows I'm looking at her now, that
I'm not,
in
too
the next
familiar with
week
the
or
portal
so. you could-
myself. I'm not sure. That could be one of the
Could be the
issues.
case. Have someone look
We
at
can
it.
check
maybe.
into it tomorrow.
Rosa's seen my face for 20+ years, so to see me on the computer, she just probably wants me back in the office, you know. so.
Chairman, what I did was I did have him, I hand wrote in the hours, the added date, had him sign and dated as of today's date. So at least there's something besides the record in writing.
Well, thank you. I'm sorry for the confusion.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you very much.
All right, the next item would be holiday sales licenses, and this would be Aaron's located at 460 Reservoir Avenue. The hours would be Monday to Thursday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., Friday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Is anyone here from Aaron's? I don't think there's nothing that's not in order. I'll be looking for a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz? Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
All right. Next is mobile food establishment, Rody Pop.
Mr. Chairman, as a matter of point of order here, it's listed on the agenda that votes may be taken to ratify. I want to be clear for the record that I want to reference the state law on mobile food establishments and also the code section 5.44.040 approval process for MFEs. And what I want to point out to the committee is this is a state license. The city of Cranston or any municipality is entitled to a permit fee and to make sure that their paperwork is in order. But the ordinance itself, under the section I referenced, Part A, says that the applications for any permits under this chapter shall be reviewed, approved, or ratified by the committee. It's not an and, it's an or. And what I want to point out to the committee is you have no legal authority on a state level to approve or ratify. That's a state Department of Business Regulation function. You may review, and I don't know what Mr. Videcchia has to say about that, but that would be my position.
I am on record if someone goes back, if they would like. I've been on record at least 2 or 3 times on this in full agreement with what Attorney Angel has said. I opined that these should not be listed as ratify the action, but instead for informational purposes, for all of the reasons or review, because as Attorney Angel said, and again, I'm on record as saying this, the code allows for simple review, a simple review process. There were 3 options there. And at the beginning, they were listed in that manner, and then it changed. And I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to go any further than that. Someone can go back, look up the records and see my comments on this, but I agree, this should not be ratify the action.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, should we rightfully not take a motion to ratify, but a motion to acknowledge that we reviewed it? Is the local permit in there and paid for?
I couldn't hear the,
There's a local permit that goes with this license, right? So there's a fee that we levy on this?
yes,
Have they
Yep.
paid it?
yes.
Okay. Any other discussion? So, I don't even know, we should take a motion.
No.
Yeah, just move on from.
your mic's off.
Right, again, I'm gonna just state it. I'm gonna be looking for a motion to approve LJW Auto Solutions located at 140 Farmington Avenue. Their hours would be 8 AM to 7 PM. They seem to have all their paperwork in. I'm looking for a motion to approve. There's a motion.
Second.
There's a second. Any discussion? You have discussion. Councilman Anderson.
City solicitor, how would we go about enforcing their hours?
Well, that's an enforcement issue like any other, unless you've got someone present, whether it's a police officer or a town official.
It's just on Friday, Saturday nights, they tend to, it was a hard week. They worked hard and they just partied till like 10, 11 o'clock. And some of the neighbors are complaining. So
I understand. Again,
I just wanted to put that on the record.
At that time, there's the police department. I'm not aware of any other way.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Reno? Yes.
It's much better when I have the microphone. All right, next item would be Miranda Auto Repair located at 75 Rusty Street, unit number 2. Their hours are 8 AM to 6 PM. It would appear that their fire inspection was received as of the printing of this, so I see no outstanding matters. Would that be correct, clerk? Okay, there's no outstanding matters. Is anyone here from that establishment? There is none. I'll be looking for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
The motion is made and seconded. Any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Reno? Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next item is Class F liquor license, the Annunciation Greek Church located at 175 Oak Lawn Avenue. The event dates are September 5th through September 7th, 2025. The hours would be Friday, 5 PM to 10 PM, Saturday, 12 PM to 10 PM, and Sunday, 12 PM to 8 PM. Is there anyone here from the Annunciation Greek Church? I see none, but everything seems to be in order, so I'll be looking for a motion to approve.
Second.
Is motion made and second, any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz? Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Reno? Yes.
Next item would be St. George Church located at located at 1493 Cranston Street. The event dates would be September 19th through 21. Hours would be September 19, 2 PM to 11 PM, September 30th, 12 PM to 11 PM, September 21st, 12 PM to 7 PM. It would appear everything is in order. Be looking for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, clerk,
Council
please.
Vice President
Oh,
Wall, just to-
I missed it. I'm so sorry, Council President.
I'm pretty sure, I think you just said September 30th, but September 20th, so just want to make sure the record's clear on that date. That's it. Yep.
If I said it
Yep.
incorrect, let me make sure it was September 19th, September 20th, and September 21st.
You got it. Yep.
It is on the
All
record.
set. Thanks.
Okay, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz? Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Reno?
Yes.
Next is, let me just check something. Hold on. Oh, just one. All right, holiday sales licenses, Warhammer located at 5 Chapel View Boulevard. Their hours are Wednesday to Saturday, 12 PM to 3:30 PM, 4:30 to 8 PM. It's a strange printing. Huh? Okay, I guess there's a break as Councilman Capriano, he says take a break. So let me just state that again, Wednesday to Saturday, 12 PM to 3:30 PM. Take a break, 4:30 PM to 8 PM. It is Sunday, 12 through 2:30 PM and 3:30 to 6 PM. It would It appears that all the paperwork is in.
Motion to
Is
approve.
there a motion to
Second.
approve? There's a second. Any discussion? Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Council Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
Yes.
All right, next item would be per diem entertainment licenses. The first would be the Annunciation Greek Church located at 175 Oak Lawn Avenue for the event dates of September 5th through September 7th, 2025. The hours will be Friday, 5 PM to 10 PM, Saturday, 12 PM to 10 PM, and Sunday, 12 PM to 8 PM. Seems like everything is in order. Is there a motion to
Motion to
approve?
approve.
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Council Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes,
Council President Marino?
Yes.
thank you. Next item would be St. George Church located at 1493 Cranston Street. The event dates would be September 19th to September 21st. The hours would be September 19th, 2 PM to 11 PM, September 20th, 12 PM to 11 PM, September 21st, 12 PM to 7 PM. It appears everything is in order. Is there a
Motion to
motion?
approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Is there any discussion? Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Council Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next item would be temporary mass gathering license. The Annunciation Greek Church located at 175 Oak Lawn Avenue for the dates of September 5th through September 7th, 2025. The hours, Friday, 5 PM to 10 PM, Saturday, 12 PM to 10 PM, Sunday, 12 PM to 8 PM. Seems everything is in order. Is there a
Motion to
motion?
approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz? Council Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
Yes.
Thank you. The next one would be St. George Church located at 1493 Cranston Street. Event dates is September 19th to September 21st. The hours would be September 19th, 2 PM to 11 PM, September 20th, 12 PM to 11 PM, and September 21st, 12 PM to 7 PM. It appears everything is in order. Is there a
Motion
motion
to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz? Council Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
Yes.
Thank you. Moving right on to mobile food establishments. I see now, once again, do we have a similar situation?
So you were going to check with the clerk, Mr. Chairman, to make sure that the items in the file as to the requisition of a local permit, that they have those items in the file and you can declare that they've been reviewed.
So the first one we're gonna look, I'm gonna ask clerk if you could take a look for California Taco, MFE 1214. Is their paperwork in order?
Yes, they're in compliance.
We don't have that. The next one would be Sam's New York System, MFE 675. Is their paperwork in order?
Yes.
Okay, so no further action is required on that, like the last one. All right, we're gonna move on to monthly schedules. I'm gonna ask that can we take these as a block? Would that be appropriate? I'm gonna ask for a motion to take the monthly schedules as a block.
Second.
Any discussion? There being none. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Council Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
Yes.
Now I'm gonna look for a motion to approve that block.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Actually, I guess, let me change that. I'm gonna retract that. I'm gonna be looking for a motion to
Accept into the record.
accept these, listen to the record.
So moved.
Block.
So moved.
Some second.
All right, any discussion? Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Council Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
Yes.
All right. Moving on to communication. Under my own, is anyone here representing the administration on this matter?
Chairman, I did have a discussion with Solicitor Malay on all of these topics, both yours and Councilman Ritz's concerns. So I can address these as
So-
best I can.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. So the first one, we had a rather lengthy discussion on 243 Deerfield Road. There were concerns on not just the upkeep, but also the safety concerns. On the way in today, I actually took a look and the chimney is still covered with weeds and growth. However, it looks like they've at least mowed the lawn and made it look a little more presentable. And there were some type of signs on there, like someone had taken control, some organization. I won't mention them in public at this point.
Yeah.
Anything you can do to shed light on it would be appreciated.
So according to Solicitor Malay, and I agree, it's basically, I think the first thing that would need to be done, this is private property, but if there's a situation which might pose a threat to public health and safety, then I think the city could certainly look into it. I think what would have to happen here is, and we were in agreement on this, is that some type of fire inspection would have to be done. So someone would have to go out there, take a look to see if in fact that was creating a fire hazard, okay? That's number one. Number two, from what I understand, the owners of that property are in assisted living or some type of situation like that. And that the property is being managed, if you will, by another entity or entities. I don't know who they are. We would have to do some further research on that. He also stated that apart from them being cited or that property being cited for having grass that was overgrown, there were no other code violations. But as far as your concern, I think we would probably need to have fire go out and take a look.
And we can pretty much, through the administration, make sure they do that. Now, when we initially discussed this, we had some neighbors here, and basically it was July, and it was warm and humid, and it was almost, well, they're not going to turn the heat on soon. Now we're in August. The next time this committee meets, it will be September. It's not out of the realm of possibilities that we get a little bit cold snap sometime in September. So real soon, and neighbors are very concerned that one day that's going to go up. It's going to affect their properties as well, surrounding. So I'm going to ask we keep this on the docket for next month's safety service meeting, but also I believe the urgency has increased.
I understand. I'll communicate this to Director Moretti, as well as Solicitor Malay,
Thank you.
that we need to get this fire inspection done.
Thank you. Is there anyone else on the committee who would like to make a comment on this matter? I see none, so we're going to move right on to the next agenda item. Councilman Ritz has Alpine Estates swimming pool rental, which I've done a little research on my own. It's quite interesting.
So-
Councilman Ritz, you have the
So
floor.
thank you. Yeah, I could talk a little bit about it. So the main one is Alpine Estate that is happening in, but this app Swimply, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, lets you rent swimming pools by the hour. So it has the potential, there's other areas in the city that have swimming pools that are being rented right now. I saw Garden City being one of them. So although Alpine Estates, those are residents that have reached out now, it has potential to go out throughout the whole city as being an issue. So with Alpine Estates, several constituents reached out to myself, Councilman Campiano, I believe the council president too, with some of their concerns. So we did meet with some of them to kind of put together a list of what was going on. So some of the things that are happening is the increased traffic, parking congestion on the streets, noise disturbances, often extending into the evening hours, litter and property damage reported by the adjacent neighbors, and then safety concerns about the large gatherings. So some of the things that the residents had brought to us to see if we could ask, and I don't expect an answer to all of them. I'll send them to you to follow
Sure.
up on, but some of the things they wanted to see if we could look into. So are short-term pool rentals considered a commercial activity under the current zoning laws?
Absolutely. I mean, I'll let you, I don't know if you wanted to go one at a time or. I mean, I could jump in and it probably will address, I think, your concerns. First off, I spoke with Chairman Wall last week on this, and I was like a little taken aback. This was not something I had ever heard of, people renting their pools out. And it's almost like saying, I'll rent out my bathroom to you for an hour, you go take a shower and stuff. And, the first thing that comes to mind is those Verbo commercials. And it seems like, whenever you see those Verbo commercials, those short-term rental things, people are always swimming around in an infinity pool, and maybe that's where they got the idea from. But having said that, Alpine Estates clearly is a residential area. You cannot operate a business out of your home in a residential setting. So the question is, does this type of activity fit the definition of a business activity? I believe it does. It's clearly for profit. It's not the same as leasing your house on a long-term basis, 6-month lease. That's a landlord-tenant relationship. This is nothing like that. This is clearly a recreational activity. It's being done for profit. I think it fits the definition. Okay. Based on what Chris Malay has told me, I believe that the people who are doing this have been cited. I'll have to follow up, and if I can get you a number or more information on that, I will. But that's where we need to start. Okay, I think where we need to finish, however, is we may need an ordinance that addresses this specific issue in order to get out ahead of it. I mean, we can cite all day long, but the problem is, by the time this winds its way through, the municipal court system, the summer's over. You're going to be into October, November, December, and in the meantime, they're doing this. Now, the other possibility, and I think I also conveyed this to Chairman Wall, is that if it becomes urgent, for lack of a better term, and it may, I mean, you could almost see the headline, God forbid, someone drowns, a young child drowns or something. Maybe they don't have liability insurance, who knows? The other possibility, the only way to get quick action would be, again, reversion to Superior Court and ask that this activity be restrained and enjoined. We would have to name the specific individuals doing this. That's sort of like the nuclear option. Perhaps the letters will address the issue. I don't know. That remains to be seen. I don't know if people will challenge it. That remains to be seen. But at some point, I think the committee and the council has to look at a comprehensive approach and come up with some type of ordinance structure to address this.
Do you think there's any health code violations with using this pool? Sometimes they've said there's been 25, 30 people there.
That I can't answer because I'm just not well versed enough to know if that creates an issue. I mean, I'm assuming the water's chlorinated. I mean, I guess if yeah, I mean, it just isn't permitted. I don't think you need to get to, the health aspect of it. I mean, I guess theoretically, if somebody dug a hole in their backyard and it was full of mud and water and no chlorine, I mean, yeah, I guess you could classify it that way, but I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is clearly it's a business activity.
One other thing was just on their website, you can send in a letter to them or contact them if the people are violating the terms. And on there, it does have the terms that the host should be present. It does say 4 vehicles can be parked. It does have some terms on there that they seem to be violating. So someone to reach out and say, could we send a legal letter to them or contact them just to see if they could remove this home in a short term?
Sure. I mean, there's nothing to stop that. That again, but I haven't seen this. I don't know what it says, what it doesn't say, but yeah, I mean, we can review everything and certainly, again, try to get out ahead of this before it gets
Councilman
worse
Ritz,
and out of hand.
I believe the council president may have some information on this as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman Ritz, for putting this on the agenda. I know we spoke a little bit briefly about it too. I think that, and I'll leave it to the solicitor to address it after I say this, but the issue is it's a commercial use in a residential area. So it doesn't matter about regulating the activity of a commercial activity. It's not allowed to begin with. So I don't want to get caught up in the, health and safety aspect of the use, because it shouldn't be a use at all. And that's really the strength of our position. And that's what we should stay focused on. And I do have a question too for the solicitor. Did anyone actually go out to the locations that we received complaints on, like through enforcement, to cite them in some manner, because I thought that, my understanding was that even with what we currently have on the books, that there was a mechanism in which
Yeah.
to address it.
The information, again, I'm getting this from Solicitor Malay, and that was today, is that citations have been issued. So I have to assume the code enforcement went out there. I don't think they would issue them just on hearsay. I think they would go out and inspect. I'm getting this secondhand.
Councilman
matches
Bonanno?
Too, yeah.
Councilman Bonanno, and I know you're not done. It's this,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm surprised, to be honest. I haven't gotten any complaints about it. I know it's an issue, but everybody else who represents that area, so maybe they forgot to get down to the bottom of the barrel there on who represents them. But anyhow, I'm asking, I would like to ask the solicitor, can you elucidate the difference between something like renting your pool in a short term and an Airbnb? There's got to be a difference there, right? Or a short-term rental.
Yeah, I mean, I can, look, earlier I alluded to the situation where you've got a landlord-tenant relationship. Now, that's different from, slightly different from Airbnb, but the principle is the same. Those are, both of those are regulated, first of all. Landlord-tenant is obviously regulated. Airbnb, same thing. Various communities have enacted some type of legislation with that, as did the state as well. And the state preempts, correct. But in that situation, that is different because it's and sometimes it's hard to draw a bright line as to where something basically metamorphosizes from a for-profit activity into a relationship, such as a lease agreement or something like a short-term rental. And
So when you talk about leaseholds and you talk about short-term rentals, it's a rental of the entire premises for a term, okay? When you talk, and you can rent your home to someone, short-term, long-term, whatever the case may be. You're talking about commercializing the recreational aspect of the home. It's a commercial use of a portion of the leasehold, not for a term, but for a date. That's not something that the code addresses in specific, but it does address whether you can utilize a residential area in a residence for commercial purposes. And the short answer to the question is that under certain circumstances, yes, but the commercial activity is one where you are leasing the entire premises. So it's a different, if you have a pool room in your house, a different kind of pool, a billiard room in your house, and it's big, and you want to rent out that billiard room, and you have a bar in that billiard room, that becomes a commercial activity for entertainment purposes. We don't have a license structure that fits that because it's a residential area, and we could go on. But the reality is that you're commercializing one aspect of a residential leasehold, not for purposes of leasing the entire premises, but for leasing a portion of it for profit in a commercial venture of sorts. And even the advertising that I've heard is commercial. So,
Right, I think that is very clear. Because so were we to enforce this by sending citations and whatnot, there wouldn't be any overarching portion of the Airbnb law that would apply here because of the reasons you said. So I think you've answered what I was getting
none
at.
of those
Thank you.
facts, no.
Councilman Campiano.
Thank you, Council Vice President. Attorney Vedeke, now how do we police this going forward? Is it up to the neighbors to report this? And if so, who would they report it to?
Yeah, it's like anything else, Councilman. It's like any violation, any code violation. I mean, who's in the best position to know other than the neighbor? Obviously, is the first and best person. As to who to complain to, I don't think it's really a police issue unless there was unruly crowds and it was a disorderly situation. I think it has to go to code enforcement. So and so is. We believe is operating a commercial venture out of their backyard. And then it's up to code enforcement to investigate the same way Yeah, there's different ways of proving it. From what I'm hearing, I haven't seen it, again, that these things are advertised on the internet, maybe, they're on Google, there are internet ads. That's very persuasive evidence that someone is doing this on a commercial basis. So between those two things, you know, I mean, that's the type of evidence you would get, and I think it's really a code enforcement issue, not a police issue. Because it's not illegal per se, it's not a criminal violation, or, so it's up to code enforcement.
Thank you. Councilman Ritz, I know we just want to let people weigh in a little bit because you're putting a lot in, yeah.
No, I think this is great. I think that's the next step. So will you send it over to code? What's the next step to moving forward?
Well, the code violation is sent out. Again, it's like any other violation. They have a right, the person has a right to contest that to their day in court. I don't know how, I can't sit, as I'm standing here, I don't know how they're going to react. They may cease and desist. They may pay the fine and say the hell with it and do it again. They may go to court, contest it for the next 3-4 months and appeal if they lose. Who knows?
You all set, Councilman?
I'm sorry, I just have one more question I should have asked before.
You should have, but
I
go
should
right
have.
ahead.
Based on what you're saying, it sounds like it's already pretty firm that this can't be done in the city. So do you think we should have an ordinance for this specific regulation?
Well, you do have an ordinance, as President Marino said, we have a general ordinance, an overarching ordinance that says no commercial activity in residential areas. Now, if you want to get even more specific, to target this, because, you know, maybe a person out there says, oh, I didn't think this was a commercial business activity. I'm just renting out my pool. Well, now you have an ordinance and they don't have that excuse because now it's in plain English, so to speak. No, you can't rent your swimming pool out. So, I mean, I don't think it can hurt. We already have a structure in place, but maybe it's insufficient. Maybe, you know, you want to take the next step and tighten it up. That's up to you.
Thank you, Solicitor. You're all set, Councilman. Councilman Ritz?
I'm good with that topic. Yeah.
Well, you're good with that topic, but you're up for the next topic, an update on the lawn beauticians at 460 Natick Avenue.
So
Councilman Ritz, you have the floor once again.
Thank you. So with lawn beauticians, some of the questions high level are in there that we've had from the residents. Councilman Campiano and I walked the outside of the perimeter a little bit. There were some residents that shared some concerns. There is some more detailed questions that they had that I'll send to you.
Sure.
They're very specific, but I
Sure.
guess just with the few I had on there, these are kind of high level ones of kind of what they're allowed to do. And then the asphalt was a big concern. We saw those piles of asphalt too. They're very high over there. And if there's any ordinances now that would restrict the size and the piles of the material.
Okay. I can report back to you, Councilman, the following, because I discussed this topic with Solicitor Millet. So to begin with, he told me that code enforcement had been out to that property. They did not write or observe any violations, okay, per se. Now, again, I'm getting this second and third hand. That's what we're being told. So as a preliminary matter, again, this becomes a code enforcement issue, okay? Now, to answer some of your other questions in terms of what are they allowed to do, as best that I can determine, and I haven't spoken with code enforcement on this, I believe they're in an A8 zone, I think. It seems to be, that part of Natick Avenue seems to be all residential, whether it's A80, A20 maybe, or A40 and I saw A8. Now, that's clearly residential. However, what I do not know, but it seems to be fairly common knowledge, is that this business has been there for an extended period of time. So they may very well constitute what is called a prior non-conforming use. The colloquial term is grandfathered in, if you want to call it that. However, that's not the end of the inquiry, because with prior non-conforming uses, and I'm sure I'm going to ask Steve to voice his opinion. You are limited as to, even though you have a prior non-conforming use, it doesn't mean you can expand it. It means there are certain strictures on that activity. You can only do what you were doing at the time the zoning went into place, okay? So the first thing that would have to be determined is how long have they been in business? And at the time, what was the zoning classification then? What was allowed, what was permitted? Okay, that would be the first step. Your question as far as does farming cover manufacturing of materials including reground asphalt? No, it does not. But again, that is a factual determination that needs to be made, and this is in no way shedding any doubt on what you and Councilman Campopiano observed. But as a general matter, no, farming would not include that. It would not include taking off-site material, bringing it back, processing it, and then shipping it out again. That would be considered manufacturing. So again, but these are fact-intensive issues that need to be resolved. As far as the last one, is there an ordinance that restricts the size of material piles where they're located near a property line or in close proximity to a property line? I myself could not find anything. I mean, I looked through the code, I looked at state law. I could have missed it because I just started doing this afternoon. The only thing I could find is there are some restrictions with things like outdoor fires, outdoor fire pits can't be more than less than 10 feet away from a property line and things like that. I didn't see anything specific to things like mulch or loom or things like that. Again, I may have missed it, but based on my perfunctory search at this point, I didn't see anything along those lines. But we'll look into this. We'll look into this further.
One other one that came up, and I'll send you another, was just the because of the fire. If the
Yeah.
city's reviewed their fire safety plan, do you know if that's been done yet?
We would have to consult again. I think that's an issue for fire inspection. I'm not knowledgeable enough about to know if you've got a pile of mulch 20 feet high, does that create? I mean, I see these things just sometimes driving by. I'll see something smoking and say, well, you know, what is that? It's a pile of mulch, and I guess it can be combustible, but I'm hardly the expert on that.
Again, I didn't need an answer on any of these, just
Sure.
put them out there on the record and I'll follow.
Okay,
So that
well,
was
we'll
my
find
question.
out.
Thank you, Councilman
I think,
Ritz.
Attorney Angel wants to make-
So as the
Yes,
solicitor alluded to, so you've got a non-conforming use issue that's been raised. You've also raised, you know, does farming cover manufacturing? So you've got a manufacturing issue, and is there an ordinance that restricts the size of material piles? Depends on what the material is. If it's solid waste, okay, which asphalt may qualify as solid waste, as I stand here, I don't know the answer to that. There are state regulations on that. So you wouldn't have a local ordinance, you'd have a state regulation on that with respect to any type of solid waste. Let's talk about farms for a minute. Regardless of what the zoning is, if this is a farm, okay, with a registered farm plan operating as such, and they have perfected their farm status, then they are entitled to manufacture certain things on site, okay, with respect to the farm. So for example, compost. If you are a farm, you may compost on your farm, but only the materials indigenous to the farm. So your nitrogen and your carbon components, essentially your wood and your crap, would need to come from what goes on your property. You may not bring those items in from other sources, such as wood chips, trees, and whatever, grind them up on your property, and then bring in putrescible waste as your nitrogen component to compost them. That's manufacturing. Your manufacturing statute would cover that. And whether or not it's a non-conforming use, again, that's a fact determination, as Mr. Videcchia said, to be made by code enforcement. And they would have to go back and see what the initial grant was with respect to this property and whether or not it is in fact a prior non-conforming use. And if it is, so be it. And if it has been expanded, then that's an entirely different factual circumstance. But that all has to come from code enforcement. If it's a farm doing things that they're not supposed to do, that's code enforcement. If they're manufacturing things on site without the proper permitting in place to manufacture anything, then that's a code enforcement issue. If there are material piles there are state statutes that may apply with respect to things such as solid waste. And certainly a non-conforming use, again, is a code enforcement issue. So all of this falls within the ambit of code enforcement. Mr. Videcchia indicated on the record from the administration that code enforcement has been out there. You are reliant upon what code enforcement or the zoning enforcement officer, it's called something different in every municipality. I think here that it's through the building official's office, if I'm not mistaken. But your zoning enforcement official is a term of art given effect by state law with respect to that individual within the municipality who's qualified to enforce the zoning regulations as it pertains to activities within particular zones, as we've discussed. So it's really contingent upon that.
Thank you, Attorney Angel. I see several people who wanted to be acknowledged. Councilman Campiano?
Thank you, Vice President Wall. I guess it is unclear. First of all, I can't imagine the horror to wake up and find fire on a pile that's right near your house. So I sympathize with that. If it is unclear whether there is any ordinance or anything that controls how close it is to the property line, if not, does this body have the power to make such an ordinance to keep it away from that property line?
This committee, this council, I'm sure Attorney Angel will back this up, has the power to enact any ordinance which protects or advances the public health, safety, welfare, and morals of the citizens of Cranston. So generally speaking, yes, okay. But as Attorney Angel stated earlier, I think any such ordinance would have to carefully define and delineate what type of material we're talking about. Because I mean, if someone's gonna, someone's doing their yard and they had a pile of leaves and it goes up to the property line and they leave it there, I mean, would that be a violation? Of course, a 20-foot pile of reground asphalt, completely different situation. Generally speaking, the answer is yes, but with a caveat that, it would have to be carefully crafted, I think.
That's it for now.
Council President.
Thank you. A few things relative to this topic. We, as a council, addressed this right after the fire at the end of 2024. And at that time, everyone, I believe, recognized the urgency and the seriousness of the use of that property, given the fire that took place. And just by good fortune and the great fire department and good winds that day, that fire was not more tragic than it was, okay? At that time, I recall that the property owner acknowledged that there were materials on that property that did not belong there. Specifically, the asphalt and construction debris pile. And at that time, this council was told that that property owner, when the weather was warmer, would remove those materials. Well, guess what? They're still there, and we're in August. Now, here we are tonight, and we're hearing that code enforcement went out and found no violation, okay? Once again, we're talking about fundamentally a commercial use in a residential area. And that is what needs to be addressed here. The construction, the asphalt needs to be removed. I cannot understand for the life of me how that's not a violation. Can't, and that's unacceptable. In terms of the use of the property, there's been discussion about, well, maybe they're grandfathered in. Well, we don't need the maybes. We need to actually have the answer. And the longer we go on with the maybe, the longer the clock is ticking. Now, I know just from, I live in that area and speaking with other residents, the use of that property in the way that it is in terms of the insourcing of materials, which people have seen, and the property is only so big, and it doesn't take a genius to look at the property and see the mounds that are there. It's being insourced, okay? That hasn't been going on for as long as that property has been owned, okay? There are aerial photographs from DEM, et cetera, that show that as well, okay? That's the city's, the administration's, code enforcement's job to do that, not this council. So I want to see next month at Safety Services, that's given a whole month, which is a heck of a lot of time, in my opinion, for an ongoing issue, that I want to hear from the administration, code enforcement, that they went back out there, took another look, and actually addressed these problems so that we're not repeating this again next month. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President. I'm going to circle all the way around to Councilman Ritz, seeing he started us off. You have a final
I
word?
think that's good. I don't think I can follow up better than that. So perfect. Thank you.
So if I'm hearing correctly, we would like this item to remain for the next safety service meeting as well.
Yes, and maybe add a section about code enforcement, what's there, and you can add code enforcement on there. Thanks.
Thank you, Council President. You have that, Rose, right? All right.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Councilman Trafficani.
as a follow-up to the council president, who should notify the administration you definitely want someone here to respond?
So someone from code enforcement should be present at that safety service meeting.
That's fine. And just so we're dotting the i's and crossing the t's, it would be appropriate if someone, the charter says, go through the administration. So perhaps someone can email Director Moretti, directly make this request, just so we're in compliance, with the charter.
Yes, yes.
In
Attorney Angel.
in addition to which, if the specifics of code enforcement as it pertains to this property and its owner are being discussed for procedural due process reasons and substantive due process reasons, that owner should receive notice to be at that hearing if things are going to be discussed relative to any violations, just to be on the safe side.
The owner should be also noticed as well. Thank you. Thank you, Attorney Angel. Okay. I think, am I correct, that we've pretty much taken care of this one? So we're gonna move right on to, and this is just, it's all in your packets, licenses that have been approved, that were subject to various conditions, but have not been issued yet. It is in your packet. It is a lengthy list.
Mr. Chairman, if I may suggest politely that the list be acknowledged by the committee and accepted as part of the record.
I was gonna ask that, so you took that right out. So now that you've all had an opportunity to view it, I'd like to entertain a motion to enter this into the record, this list of licenses that were approved, subject to, but not yet issued.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? I see none. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz? Council Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Reno?
Yes.
All right, I see no further business before this committee this evening. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Is there a second? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed signify by saying nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. This meeting is concluded. We're going to start the next meeting in about 2 minutes, the Finance Committee meeting. All right, good evening. And welcome to the August 4th, 2025 Finance Committee meeting. At this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order, and I ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Councilman Andujar,
Present.
Councilman Ritz, Councilman Trafficante,
Present.
Council Vice President Wall,
Here.
Council President Marino.
Present.
Thank you. First item of business would be the approval of minutes. At this time, I'm going to entertain a motion to approve of the minutes from the July 7th regular meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar.
Yes.
Councilman Ritz.
Yes.
Council Trafficante.
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Thank you. The next item of business would be the approval of the minutes from the July 24th, 2025 Special Finance Committee meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar.
Yes.
Councilman Ritz.
Yes.
Council Trafficante.
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
All right. Next item of business would be public comment. If there is anyone here this evening in chambers who would like to make public comment on agenda matters only, please step up to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you'll be given 4 minutes to speak. Leave, I'm seeing none at this time. Tom, is anyone online who would like to make public comment?
There's no public comment online.
Thank you, Tom. So at this time, I'm going to close public comment. We're going to move right on to new matters before the committee, ordinances. At this time, I'm going to entertain a motion to, and I think I'm going to get a motion. Let me bring Mr. Balducci up first, but I'm going to introduce it. This is ordinance 72503, an ordinance ratifying the school committee's collective bargaining agreement with Rhode Island Laborers District Council 1322 Bus Drivers Unit. Mr. Balducci, if you'd like to give us some of the finer points of the contract?
Sure. Good evening, Joe Balducci, CFO, Cranston Public Schools. Tonight, we're before you to ratify a 3-year contract with our bus driver union. Hopefully, everyone has received a fiscal note in advance of the meeting, which I will go over right now for you. So it's a 3-year contract. First year of the contract is actually the year that just expired, 24-25. Second year, the year we're in, 25-26. And then the third year of the contract, 26-27. In year 1 of the contract, it's a straight $1 increase across the board for all union members. The second year, which is again the year we're currently in, is a 75-cent across the board increase, and similar in the third year, a 75-cent increase. Total cost for the dollar first year, $139,000 and change. Second year, $111,000, just shy of $112,000. And the third year, $113,000 and change. That's the 30,000-foot view of the contract, but I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, would anyone have any questions for Mr. Balducci? I see Councilman Trafficante's hand is up.
Joe, the annual impact, the first year is 139, second year 111, third year 113. Does that include step increases as well, that amount?
It does not. Again, the step increases, whether they had a contract or a new contract, it just happens over time. So this is the additional cost of the contract.
So how many steps are there in this particular contract?
10.
10?
Yes.
And what would be the total cost for all 3 years of those step increases approximately?
With the step increases annually for this group, they're sprinkled all over we have approximately 85 drivers. And again, so much on step 1, 2, and 3, and so forth. The step increases probably run about $30,000 annually for this group. So, but again, whether they had a contract or not, those will continue to happen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Councilman Trafficante. Anyone else on the committee who would like to ask a question of Mr. Balducci before?
If I could add, I know usually the question is, has these dollars been assigned in the budget? They have. The interesting thing about this budget, given that the first year is actually last year, so those funds are still sitting there to be used. but there is sufficient funds in last year's budget and also rolling over into the year we're in. So we're fine.
Thank you, Mr. Balducci. The Director of Finance, would you like to make any statement on this matter? Not at this time.
Mr. Chairman, similar to what I stated at the last special meeting, the trend on the school department has been increased state aid. And speaking beyond 26, which is fully funded, 27 is a step down. So looking ahead, if you take their contracts collectively and state aid continues on a trend that it has been in the last couple of years, there should be sufficient additional state aid covering their contracts. And once again, globally, we're watching the school construction in the advent of that debt service. So as of right now, if state aid continues to increase the way it has, there should be no problem affording this.
Thank you, Director. Councilman Trafficani had one more question. Did I see your hand? Who else? Did I see your
Joe,
hand?
in this contract, is there any mention of privatization?
There is, actually, I'm going to ask Mr. Prudale to join me.
Yep, so there was language added into this contract. In the case that the city decides to go out and explore outside contractors, that the language in the contract would allow for the new vendor, if we were to choose one, to take on our current employees as the laborers union, because this contract would be in effect for 3 years. So if we were to go out to bid and end up privatizing, they would take on our employees as well as working with the laborers union to stay intact as that bargaining unit.
Any other questions from the committee? I see none. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any other discussion before I ask the clerk to take a roll? There is none. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Councilman Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Reno?
Yes.
Thank you. Moving right along to ordinance 72507, an ordinance ratifying a parking lot lease between the city of Cranston and VFW Post 2396 DBA Tabor Frankie Post. Mr.
Chairman.
Before we begin, I'm going to have Council Attorney Angel speak a little bit on this matter.
So if I can for the committee, I'd like to point out that there are inconsistencies in the ordinance itself. The ordinance purports to attach for your ratification a parking lot lease. The lease speaks for itself. I take no position on the lease. However, when you look at how the lease is referenced in the ordinance is clearly wrong on its face at lines 25, 28, and 32. So when you look at line 6, it references the lease as attached. Line 25 references a memorandum of understanding is attached. 28 references an agreement in writing is attached. 32 references an agreement. I would recommend that the ordinance be amended on the floor of the committee to indicate that 25, 28, and lines 32 all reference the attached lease. However, that's wordsmith. That way the ordinance is accurate. Thank you. Sure. So if you look at so what's attached to the ordinance is a lease. Okay. The lease is, what's being asked of the council is accurate in line 6, but what is inaccurate is 25, 28, and 32. In those lines, 25, it talks about a memorandum of understanding. It is in fact a lease. In 28, it references the agreement in writing when in fact it is a lease. And when you look at line 32, it talks about the aforesaid agreement, which is the attached lease. It's not, I don't deem it as a defect that would require the matter to go back to council. but it is a defect in the ordinance and it should be remedied in committee and sent to the council with those changes.
Council President.
Sure. Based on that representation, I can make a motion to amend on line 25 so that we strike memorandum of understanding and instead put the word lease. On line 28, we strike the words agreement in writing and instead put the word lease. And on line 32, we strike the words aforesaid agreement and we put the word lease. That's my motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All right. So at this point,
All I was gonna say
Councilman
was that if I may make a suggestion to just put parking lot lease. Because that's what the title of it is. If we're gonna want to do that, might as well. But
it's
if that
kind of-
doesn't matter, it's fine.
Yeah, it's splitting hairs because if you see in parentheses, it says it quotes lease, so.
Okay, any discussion on the amendment? All right, clerk, would you please take a roll on the amendment?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilor Ritz?
Yes.
Council Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
Yes.
All right, next I'll be looking for a motion to approve the ordinance as amended.
Second.
Is there any discussion on this? There being none, I'm going to ask the clerk to please call a roll.
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Council Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
Yes.
Thank you. I believe the next order of business is real estate tax abatements. They were provided, they were sent to the members of the committee. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? There being none, clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Council Trafficante?
Yes.
Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
Yes.
Thank you. Next item of business would be tangible tax abatements. They were provided in the email and in your packet. I'll be looking for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Andujar?
Yes.
Councilman Ritz?
Yes.
Council Trafficante? Council Vice President Wall?
Yes.
Council President Marino?
Yes.
And if I'm not mistaken, there's no further business before this committee, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed signify by saying nay. The ayes have it. This meeting is concluded. Thank you and good night.